Well. Looks like I should say hello. Probably it would be better to say good morning. Or I don't know what time of day do you have. But today, you see, this is so sunny time, and I decided that the sunny time is the best today for preparing some new video materials. So today, I'm not sure that it will be too long, but I don't know. Let's see. Really, I don't plan it. Firstly, I want to tell that today I have a topic which always was quite important for me. Probably it was very important during all my life. And why not to tell about this? Because this topic is also something that influences your reality. And as we say here, and as we are talking here about the reality, then it will be nice. And I can also say that this topic probably is relevant. I'm sure that these days, especially these days, they will be. This is also relevant for many people. For many people who live in this difficult time. Well, the topic will be about the justice. Let's define somehow what is the justice. Basic understanding of the justice can be done, I think, in two ways. Because for some people, the justice, this is something about uh, some values and some profits. For other people, the justice, it's about the punishment of the evil with these capital letters. I think you can have, I don't know, maybe 10 seconds to decide what is justice for you. It's about profits or it's about punishment of the evil. You can think about this. Maybe it will be good if I also define more detailedly. I will, but why not to start from this? The profit or the evil? Well, let's try to think about this. First, the profit. What is the justice for people who consider this from the point of view of the profit? This means that if I did something good, if I did something important, then I should get some profit for this. And basically it means that we should understand this not like a social thing, not about your job, where you do something and you get something like a salary. It should be also probably. But I say about the reality. It means that we say about the world. For example, you did something good, not within your job. You did something good for something. I don't know. You planted the tree. Something good? Yes, most of people will say this is something good. And will you have some benefit or profit for this action if nobody sees? If it will be no people who will pay to you for this plant, for this tree. This is the question of justice. It's not justice for social aspects. although they are included. But in generally, will you do something? There are many proverbs about this. I'm not sure about proverbs in different languages, but I'm sure that most of languages and cultures says that if you do something good, then maybe someday you will get some profit for this. Maybe you will get some profit in another life. Maybe you will have how to say eternal life, as in Christianity. Maybe in the next life you will born like a rich, powerful person. Maybe just you will have the luck. You will be the lucky person immediately from tomorrow, and you will get something good. You see this already three ways of profits, and maybe more. Maybe if you do something good, you will get something good. You will find somebody good. Oh, doesn't matter. This all about the profits. And the question is if it will be or it will not be. But this is next question. We will return to this question later. Now we should just go on and to understand this justice. Let's consider the second aspect. What it means, second aspect. It's basically not about your actions. This is when you see that somebody does something, some bad things. For example, now there is a war in Ukraine, and I think that whole the world thinks if the guilty persons will be punished or not. We are already sure that probably socially they will not, because it's very difficult to find all the guilty persons. Most of them will not be punished by court, so they will not be in the in the assembly hall of court. They will not be punished somehow by this. But the question is, will they be punished somehow else? Maybe they will have punishment in the next life. Maybe they will burn in the hell. Maybe something else. You see, it's also many questions of punishment. And now let's summarize. We have two general aspects. First, if they, or not they, if it's about profit or if it's about punishment of evil. There are two general concepts, and really it's very important part of your reality. If you live in the world where there is justice, it will be one world. If you live in the world without justice, it will be another world and another you, because this is something that influences, firstly, influences to your actions and to what you do, and also it influences on your expectation of the world. Because if you know that how to say no, if you believe, this is basically the same. So if you believe that the evil will be punished, you can just imagine how calm maybe you will be, how patient maybe you will be. But if you live in the world where is no punishment, no world punishment and no world justice about this, then you will have a choice. You will need to do something by yourself, or you should just be calm, forgive everybody, and say, okay, sometimes it's good to be bad, or something like this. So this is um, very, how to say, very important questions if you think about this deeper. For example, now I know how people usually think about this war, and most of them thinks about the punishment for the guilty persons and um, how they will act, these people who wants the punishment, how they will work, how they will do in the case that there is no punishment or justice in the world, or there is punishment or justice. You see, the second aspect about the evil is much more powerful and emotional than the first about the profit. Because when you say about justice as a profit, like if you do something, you will get some profit. You see, this is fully your will. It depends only on you. If you do, you will get, or maybe you will not get. But the question of punishment, it's like not your will. It means that somebody did something bad, for sure, bad that you can evaluate as bad. But this is the same, we don't have something more objective. So if somebody did something bad, uh, it was not your will, it was not your choice, but this already happened, and this is part of your reality. I mean, not part of your reality, it's part of just of picture of events. And now you should do something with this. You did not choose for this event to happen, but it happened, and you should somehow react, or you should not. This is your choice. So this is the most problematic thing that I wanted to tell you at first. I think we can try to create a map as in the previous stream. I think it will be quite good, and I will be able to show it to you, because this material is quite interesting and it will be good if we have it. Let's try. 1, 2, 3. Okay, it works. It was nice previous time. I forget about the microphone. Okay, it works. So firstly, we say about the justice. Let me see if you see something. I think I should make it a bit bigger for you to see. Yes, I think you should see now quite clearly about the justice. So firstly, we should say about let's say like aspects. So, and one aspect is about the profit, and second about the punishment. And you see, it's even more interesting thing. Like, it's not like a test, but this is quite interesting also. Try to think. For example, if you had a choice to live in the world where only one part or one aspect of the justice can exist. For example, we will return to this question a bit later. But what if you can live in the world where only one of two aspects can exist? Which of them you will choose? Are you going to live in the world where only the profit for you or for everybody, for the good things exists? Or you will prefer to live in the world where the punishment for all bad things will be implemented always? If you have this choice, what would you choose? And probably this is very important, because everybody who will choose, who will make one choice, and everybody who will make second choice, this will be probably just two different type of people, and probably their lives and their realities will be different, I think, because for some of them profit is more important than the punishment of the evil, but for some of people the punishment of evil will be more important than the profit for doing well. So it's also a question for you. I will just leave you with this question, at least right now. And let's go to the second part. It's about just understanding. Firstly, let's return to very simple understanding that everything is the belief and nothing else can be accessible by you. So finally, this is your choice. Only you are the person who should decide if your reality contains the justice or not. Because if you decide it, then you will have the next question. If, for example, the justice exists in form of punishment, it means you will believe to the courts, you will believe to the fate, you will believe maybe to the next life or something like this. Then you will need to have some implementation. You will need to have some forms in which the justice will be implemented. And about profits, you will believe that all your job will be paid with justice, and you will believe that for all good that you did, you will get something good for you. But this is your question. There is no any, how to say, no way to understand how it's done in this world, like objectively. You don't know about this, you will not know nowhere, anywhere, and you will not know never. Why? Because how can you know this? If religion says that the punishment exists and the profit exists, okay, you will believe or not. If you have very wide experience, if you know many things about the reality, not reality, because reality it's about you, the objective world, you can only induct. You see what's induction? Induction, this is when you have some number of cases and then you try to generalize. Like you met 100 times when the justice happened, and you say, okay, if justice happened 100 times, it means that it will always happen. But actually, no. This is you don't have enough basis. You don't have enough reasons to generalize like this. Experience, this is something will can help you to falsificate something, to prove that something is wrong. But experience cannot prove that something is right. If you have 100 cases of justice, you can say that it always works. But if you got at least one case of when justice did not appear, then you say, yes, it does not appear always. So this is what you can prove. So finally, it's only your belief and your decision. You should decide if the justice in your world exists, just not justice like sometimes. Sometimes it exists, just you can check it, and you definitely found some situations when justice happened. But this is not this question. The question is if it works always or not. Will all guilty persons, for example, for this war, be punished, or they will not be punished? If justice exists always, then they definitely will be punished. If it does not exist always, it means that not. So the question is, does it exist, the justice, in your world, or no? And in order probably to answer your question, I'm not sure that it will be necessary. You can decide this even even without this material, but I still want to show you something important. When you say about the justice, you should always think about what? Probably it will sound strange or weird for you. Weird. But if you say about the justice, the world justice, you should also say, you see, you should always think about the provider. Something or someone or something else, I don't know, should provide this world justice if it exists. Because it should be provided by at least the world, by people, or something else. The first simple, the first thing and the simplest thing, this is the most usual thing. This is the most usual and widespread provider of the justice. For sure, we should say about the gods. This god, that god, there are many gods. It's question if you have gods in your reality. Maybe you have, maybe you don't have. This is next question about the gods. But usually, if God exists, usually he or she will provide the reality. uh, okay, it was nice. It will provide the justice. It will provide the justice in the form of just court day. The God will provide the hell for bad and the paradise for good, etc. This is provider. If you want to say that the justice exists in your world, you should know the provider of of the justice within your reality. First way is to say about the God as provider. Second, let's say the world law. It means that the world is built in the way that there are some laws which are which are working for providing the justice. For example, if you did something bad, then something will beat you. Like, I don't know, you will see something which will be dropped to you, like the stone from the roof, or the car will create the accident with you, or something like this. There is no person, like God is always person. There is no person that decides in every moment who will be just rewarded or who will be punished. Here, this is just how the world is built. There are some laws that manage this world. As we have physical laws, which we can feel, like the gravity or electricity or something like this. So, this kind of laws also can exist. And this is, let me consult one word. It's very popular thing. Let me show how it's said in English. The same. Really? So simple? But nothing else. Karma. Like something from Indian religions. Karma. They say about, oh, this is a karma. When you did something good, when you did something bad, and you get the punishment. When something bad happens with you. When they say about the karma, they usually don't say about the gods. This is just how world is created. The karma always happens. Today or later. So, but this karma, this is just only example of the world law. Maybe you can have more complicated law in your reality, just not so universal. Maybe you have something more specific. The next provider, which can be done here, but this is more maybe strange. Just let's say the people organization. It's not organization like a specific firm or specific creation, specific institution. It's like the social world. Or maybe I think this is the best. I don't know how to say in other words. If you have some ideas, you can tell me about your ideas in the comment, as they usually say in some streams or videos. What it means? It means that, for example, people always feel the bad, and they will also provide punishment for the bad. And they, not all, but there are always people which feeling good, who will for sure at least give you thanks for this. For sure, this provider is basically a specific case of this more general one, because probably this also how your world is created. And the last, but maybe but not least, but maybe least, and maybe sad. No, but nobody in general. It means there's no provider, but this option means that the world justice also does not exist, and nobody will be responsible for providing the justice. In this case, if you need the justice, not maybe for yourself, if you think that it's very important to have the justice in the world, you can do something for this. You can somehow try to provide it. You can take this role for yourself. You can be the provider if it's important for you. Or you can make some efforts in order to create something in the world, maybe some organizations or something else, which will provide the reality. I really don't like example of Robin Hood, because it was, for me, it's not justice. It's just very strange thing when you will take some part of life of person, because the money and, how to say, private property, this is part of your life. If you take this part of your life from somebody just because they have to give somebody who doesn't have, for me it's not justice, it's crime. But doesn't matter. In this moment I just wanted to tell you that this is the situation when somebody decided to provide the justice how they understand this. You understand the justice in one way, and you provide the justice at least for some people, for part of the world. Maybe it's not the best variant, and sometimes it will be misjustice. It will be not justice at all. And but my business is to tell you about different ways how to do it. So I think it's enough for these 4 potential providers. Let me say, nobody in the world or nobody now. It's better to say yes. Nobody now. Because somebody can. Maybe you. Maybe not you. Maybe you will help to somebody who will. And this is what I wanted to tell you today. I think we will finish soon. But the most important thing, this is that you should decide if there is justice in your world or not. Before it, we are talking about if about who are you, who you are, and what is the directions or branches of living. It's all questions which also can be answered and should be answered. They are also important. But this question is more social, it's more about people. For sure, it's about you and it's about the world, but it's also about the people. And this will influence to your life. And especially when we have this terrible situation which happens in the world. So maybe you will change your opinion. Maybe today you have one picture of the world, one worldview where you have one choice. For example, today the world justice is existing for you. Maybe after some time you will decide that no, I think now that it does not exist. This is your choice. You will be able to change your opinion. But in every moment, you always should have some opinion about this. Because if you don't have this opinion, it will create many bad feelings in your life. You will not, you cannot be calm enough, and you will have too much stress every time when something bad happens. What means something bad? When you or somebody did not get profit for the good, or somebody did not get punishment for the bad. If you have strong opinion that the justice exists, it means it will happen something which will provide this justice. If you are sure that it does not exist, it means that it will not happen definitely. So you can be calm, because it will not happen. Or you can be one who wants to do something with this world, to do something at least with some specific people. For example, when I was working at university, the providing of justice was a very important part of my life. And sometimes when I've seen that something is not correct, I just did many efforts in order to provide this justice. For example, if you know exactly that by the law and by the rules of university this person should be just excluded from university, but if some forces says that it should not be excluded, this is just the situation of there is no punishment for incorrect behavior. And for me it was very important to provide the justice in this case. But this is only my example. I don't know how it's done right now for you. So think about this. This is one of the most important things in the world, in your reality, is better to say. It will influence your health, it will influence your emotional state, and it will take too much resources from you if you don't have specific answer. So please make your choice. And if you made some choice, it will be nice if you tell me about this, because this question is always interesting for me. And now let's finish, and as usually I will tell you thank you. I know that you had a choice. You always had a choice, and all my videos here in English, it's about you and your choice, and how your choice will influence and build your reality. So thank you for watching this. If you found a time to do this, if you was not forced to watch this video, if this is your goodwill, so thank you. And I think we will see each other again, because maybe I will provide another videos for you. And as usually, and one more time, thank you for the choice to watch this. And goodbye. Have a nice day, nice time, what you have. Goodbye.